Captain Patricia.
Hi, welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Here we are on the Nomad 101. We're out here off the new, what do we call that? The new Atlantis?
That's a new Atlantis, hotel and residence.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, that's what I do appreciate about this place. There's architectural wonders everywhere.
We're actually driving in front of three of the biggest right now. We have the Burj Khalifa on the bow, the Burj Al Arab on the starboard bow, and then the new Atlantis residence. So
yeah, awesome.
We're not short of a landmark.
Fantastic. So, guys, if you haven't noticed, Captain Patricia is a fellow Aussie, and it seems like the staff at Golfcraft, it's the, as Rich was saying, it's the League of Nations. There's just everyone. We
do have many nationalities there, which is great. You know, it's more of a global office workspace and production facility, which is quite cool.
Absolutely. So look, we're here to test the boat, so let's do it. These motors are not fully run in yet, so we can't do a full speed test, but we can at least talk about what we have discovered so far and maybe cover some of the systems at the dash and your experience. How did you find bringing her out of the pen there?
So what we had, the boat's extremely maneuverable. I mean, you know, having the big MTU engines, but also having a bow and stern thruster, it's almost cheating, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, as you're coming out. Yep. But you can spin it on a dime. There's plenty of power if you're driving around wind and current as well.
Yep.
So, you know, this will be a great boat to maneuver around the reef at home, in and out of the marinas. It'll be superb.
Because you've got your wing station down the back, and then you've got the bridge.
And then the bridge, exactly. And also there is the possibility for the yacht controller, which is by remote control.
Yep. Okay.
So you can also walk around the bridge deck aft
and
actually control your thrusters and your main engines by that as well.
Yep.
I like, in a very crowded marina, I like to spin the boat around and then go down to the main deck aft station, and then I just reverse it all the way into where we're going.
I was going to say a piece of piss, but maybe I have to beat that out.
Cut that one out.
So good. So fuel flow wise, we're just crawling along at the moment.
Yeah. So let's just start at idle. So you know, we sort of come just as we come into gear. We're doing sort of 600 RPM, and you're looking at 10 to 15 liters per hour per engine.
Okay.
Right. And what we like to do when we build our boats is usually we'll come up through our RPM range. And we'll come up every 200 RPM, we'll be measuring noise, vibration, RPM, and then your engine and vessel performance.
Yep.
So as we come up to 800 RPM now, you're looking at 29-30 litres per engine per hour.
Yep.
And what are we doing now? 8.9, 9 knots.
9 knots.
So let's think long range cruising. This is steady as she goes, right?
Yeah, that feels good for some of the Aussies. Now, would we running one genset? Does the one genset run all the aircon on this boat? Or?
It does. So basic services, one genset will be fine. It's only once you really start bringing up galleys.
Got it.
Because they will really start to labour things. If you were running full galley services plus your AC plus everything, and you were manoeuvring, I'd say put 2 on.
Okay, sure.
For general day-to-day running, you're pretty good just with one.
Any rough idea what the consumption would be on the genset at medium low?
Maximum I would always counter in, I would keep in my tank probably 200 litres per day.
Okay.
Absolute maximum. That's nice and safe.
Sure. Okay, so now we've revs have climbed.
So we're coming up to 1,000 RPM.
Yep.
Speed's
climbing through 10.5 knots.
Yep.
10.7.
We're sitting around 50 litres per engine per hour, 55 litres per engine per hour.
And that's 10.9 knots SOG just there.
There we
go. Noise levels, you only just have a low murmur of the motors really. There's not very noticeable up here.
This is what I've noticed. So I come from aluminium and steel vessels originally.
Yep.
Until I came to Golfcraft, where I started on the bigger GRP vessels.
Yep.
And it's a very cool property with the bigger laminate hulls is they absorb a lot of that noise, a lot of the vibration. You don't feel it. So your master cabins, your bridges and that, you know, I've been asked a few times by a few owners, especially on our big vessels, they've said, Captain, we can leave now, and I'll, you know, kindly inform them that we're already doing 10 knots and motoring down the road, right? Which is kind of cool.
You know, you're right about the noise levels, because fiberglass really does absorb. I noticed that on the day boats that I test when I go from an aluminium boat to a fiberglass one. When impact through the waves, it's a completely different experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that from a guest perspective.
You think about it from insulation, from noise. You don't get that echoing when you hit on waves.
Yeah.
Right?
The vibration that can almost go through the boat.
Exactly.
So we've climbed just...
Let's come up to 1200.
Yep. That'll be about the max we can take these motors to, I'd say.
It is for the moment. We just need to spend a bit of time to running things in.
Yep. So speeds climbing through 12 knots. Consumption was, I can see, 88 litres a side.
All right. 1200 RPM. Yeah, so I expected, that's about right. I expect it to be sitting around 90-95 litres per hour per engine.
Okay, now we're at 12.7 knots.
Yep, and it's no wind, no current, so this is quite a true speed.
Yeah, it is, calm seas.
Yeah.
And now, in terms of stabilisers, what would we be running on this boat?
So we have the Humphrey system on board,
Yep.
Which is electric.
Yep.
And we've only really been using the electric ones over the last 12 months. And really I'm in love with them for a couple of reasons.
Yep.
One, they're very fast acting, right? So when we actually spend a lot of time during commissioning stage getting all of vessel movement data,
Yep.
programming it into the software, and then your auto trim and your auto list.
So it's all calibrated.
It's very, very, very intelligent, very smart, and it just does it for you.
Awesome.
Right? And then they are also connected to the interceptors on the stern, or like you would call trim tabs,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
We have the interceptors down.
Yep.
So it sets to auto trim, auto list, the
Yep.
boat's nice and level, you get better fuel economy,
Yep.
and she's nice and stable.
Yep.
And then once a boat comes down below 4.5 knots, it'll ask you, do you want to activate zero speed?
Yep.
Right? So we're sitting at anchor or we're rolling around.
Yep.
We'll be able to activate the zero speed, and it's so efficient. A lot of the time I'm actually turning it down to sort of a low to medium stroke.
Yep.
Because you can actually roll the boat, like make it roll when they're going too fast.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right? So in comparison to the hydraulic systems, I feel like the feeling of when we're operating it, they're very, very efficient.
Interesting.
And you don't have hydraulic pipes running all through your boat.
Yeah, it simplifies things a little bit.
Right?
Now, at this speed, we're very much displacement. The boat's got a completely level attitude. This just feels comfortable.
Yeah.
We can wind this up to a faster speed. What are these jet skis doing?
Oh,
Boys,
they
know that we're... Oh, let's just cross your bow. Good
yeah.
work.
And they'll be coming for the waves at the back as well.
Okay. I'm going to turn my other camera on. I think it's on. Oh yeah, it's on.
Yeah. There's no rules of the road out here.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So yeah, we can wind this up now.
I assume she'd dig her stern a little bit. That's when the interceptors will kick in.
Exactly.
And then level the boat out a little bit.
Exactly. Once we get up sort of around about 16 to 1800,
Yep.
she'll start coming up.
Yep.
But the interceptors will work very fast.
Yep.
So you really sort of pop up very quickly.
Okay.
There's no real thinking about it, you know.
Yep.
I've run
What are the projections on top speed of this boat?
projections. I'm expecting to be around 23.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. So if you just want to run somewhere for the day, it's quite convenient.
It's versatile, right?
Yeah,
So, you
yeah.
know,
I like
you have
having
guests
speed.
on board and you want to get them to lunch or
Yeah.
something like that. If you want to get them ashore or something, you have the flexibility to do it.
Yeah.
Or
And then
to
you're not
cruise all
always
the way up
relying
the
on
reef.
tenders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can operate quite a versatile range of modes of operation, right?
Yeah, I mean, even cruising places like the Greek islands, for example, where all the islands are pretty close.
Yeah.
You so often see big boats, and you see a big, Fjord 40 type tender going ahead with all the guests, and the big
Exactly.
boat coming in at 10 knots, 12 knots behind them, and spending half the day to get there.
Well,
Whereas something like this could just run.
Exactly. On the big boats, you use the chase tender to get people where they're going. Well, you pack up all the water sports.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yep.
And you meet them afterwards.
Yep, yeah, that's a good consideration. So just whilst we're here, we're about to get to our destination. Looks like we've got switch panel just here, lights operated from here, FLIR system, bow and stern thruster. That's our GPS. What's this?
So that's the BUNWAS. It's a bridge navigation watch alarm system. So if you're falling asleep, this will go off every 3 minutes if you don't push it.
If you don't activate it.
And then it'll go off, and if you don't get it within certain parameters, it'll actually kick off to general alarm, so you can't go to sleep.
Right.
And this is on all vessels worldwide, I think, above 150 or 200 tons now.
Yeah, okay, well that's good. So this is our engine management MTUs, and we've obviously got dual of those. This is our buy data by the looks of it.
Yep, so this is all your wind and weather.
Yep.
What we try to do with our bridge designs on all golf crafts is we actually split it.
Yep.
So we will have like navigation and operations on this side,
Yep.
and then your operational engineering on this side. So
Okay.
you'll see we've got our engine room fans,
Yep.
you'll see we've got our anchor chain counters,
Yep.
your stabilizers,
Communications.
exactly, this is your talk back to the engine room.
Yep.
So
like
we
your
try
HF,
to we try to split it a bit so it's a
Logical.
good quick
Yeah.
logical, exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't know, what's this? Sailor control panel.
That one will be for radio comms.
Oh, right, okay.
That'll be part of your GMDSS
Okay.
equipment.
Okay.
So if you're going commercial,
Yep.
then we have to install the GMDSS equipment
Got it.
for going international commercial.
Interesting. Looks like we're coming
That's
in.
why you have DSC attached to your radios.
Yep.
You will have to have MFHF,
Yep.
Navtex.
Yep, that all makes sense.
Yep.
We'll probably wrap it up there. Thank you, Captain Patricia.
My pleasure.
Since we're going to focus on doing this little photo shoot here now, but guys, I hope that was useful to you. We'll do a full and complete test in the ocean and running the boat up to full speeds, probably in Australia, because this boat's coming to Australia. So,
Exactly.
So that'll be a little while. Stay tuned, but this at least gives you an idea of what her long range cruising capacity and an insight into the operational side of things. So thanks again.
Thank you very much.
That was awesome. Cheers, guys.